you have had this concept hanging over your head for a long time that you knew, and everyone around you knew, and it could be next Sunday, your boats would be burned. And everything in your life would change next week or the week after. That is why we wanted you here first, because I can think of nobody who's had that almost like gallows humor hanging over your head all the time. It's like, yeah, this is great. We're making a ton of money until next week. Welcome to the podcast. Clark, would you like to welcome Devon in, and then we'll get him started?
Yeah, Devon, I was talking to David about this. We were talking about how I grew up watching your dad play, and I'm a huge Cowboys fan, so I wanted to wear my Cowboys jersey, but we didn't feel like it was going to be professional enough on this financial podcast to wear a 1990s Dallas Cowboy jersey.
I should have went and got a Super Bowl ring and broke it out for the pod.
There you go, man. That's a hell of a way to start it, man. So, but yeah, we're happy to have you, man. You know, you're a great guy. You know, we've worked together on a few projects.
Financial distress, relationship distress, identity crisis. There's just so many factors. And I would say I'm on the other end of it of like, all right, I put myself in position. I was preparing for this moment pretty much as soon as I started. But I can honestly say, and I'm unapologetic about it, it's hard. Like, you know, when you're in the spotlight, your phone's off the hook and you're used to being on billboards and all this transition has not been easy. And that's for someone who's, you know, has been preparing for it as soon as I got in it. So, you know, I got to acknowledge that first, because a lot of guys, we're tough, macho guys. And it's hard to admit that, like, hey, life is good, but like, this has been a transition, you know, transitioning out of the NFL and out of that lifestyle into regular life, even for, you know, someone I'm having success and I'm doing a lot and a lot of good things are happening in my life.
Talk to us about one or two moments that like really stand out in your mind.
One, I love the podcast name and what you guys are doing, because I think everybody's boats is burning to some extent and people are ignoring it. So, you know, coming out of high school, I was top 5 recruit in the nation, getting recruited to go to every college in the country. And at the start of college, my senior year of high school, tore my ACL, and then I faced a ton of injuries in college. So, you know, being humbled in that way from being, you know, the best athlete ever in the state of Arizona, top 5 in the country, and then going to college and facing, you know, getting punched in the gut, my boats being burned for me in the sense of football wasn't going that well for me. I was facing injuries, coaching changes, position changes, to where, you know, I was like, wow, football is what I planned to do and what I thought was going to, like, you know, be the linchpin to my life, but it wasn't looking promising. Challenge to that player and that employee, business person, what have you, put yourself in a position to where you don't have to do it though. Even if you plan on making enough money, like, hey, I'm top 5 corner in the league, I'm about to get a huge check. Right. I'm not worried about the finance side. Or I'm in IT and AI and I'm like, I know how to use it. I'm going to have a job for the next 40 years. I can tune out this podcast. My challenge to you is put yourself in a position to where you still don't need it. And you get to do it because you want to, not because you have to, and chase that. So, you know, when I'm talking to guys, it's like, fine, like maybe you are going to get, like, a lot of things could happen to where that next deal doesn't come, but let's assume it is. You're right. You're going to get that big check. Why not put yourself in a position financially with your investments in your portfolio?
Talk to us a little bit about some of the messages that you're giving that it may translate to just your typical listener that's in a similar situation right now, because I know you're trying to make changes and you're trying to basically, you know, you're trying to teach a man how to fish, right? You're not just handing him a fish. It's like you're trying to teach him how to fish. Talk to us a little bit about that in terms of the message that you're trying to deliver.
It goes 2 ways for me. So with athletes, the challenge now is there's some guys, if you're good enough with how much the NFL pays you, they think they're going to get away with just like, I'm good enough, I'm going to get a big enough contract to where it's not going to really matter. In the regular world, somebody who can just, all right, I get fired here, but I can go to the next company. All right, so you might be able to do your industry. You might not be at that job, but you might be able to do your industries till you're 50, 60, 70 years old. Right. But my challenge to that player and that employee, business person, what have you, is put yourself in a position to start to build that for yourself now. And some people might listen to this and like, oh, be admired because I started when I was younger, but then think they're not in that mindset, or you know, it's too late for them because they're 45 or if you would have started when you were 22, that would have been amazing. But start now, start doing it now. And I recommend that to any and everybody.
It's kind of like the saying is that I wish I started yesterday, but hey, you can start today, right? You can impact that. And David and I talk, I mean, we just finished an episode where it's like the continuous theme is like, you have to take action. If if you make a choice not to take any action, that in itself is going to, you're not delaying your gratification. You're taking everything right now. You're not driving that 2005, Kia. Are you willing to drive that 2005 Kia so that you can live a much lower anxiety life in the future, right?